Guys, so this is Moises back with another episode here, and today I actually have a guest, Lynda. She actually just went through the All Above Funding Loophole, and I wanted to bring her on to kind of share her experience with everybody that's been kind of sitting on the sidelines, thinking that maybe this isn't, something that's real. And I just want to show you guys that it is 100% real, and if you meet the criteria, you too can secure a ton of funding to take your business idea or current business to the next level. Lynda, can you please introduce yourself and kind of tell the audience here a little bit about your experience, kind of like what kind of business you have and what your whole goal is with your funding?
So, hey everybody, my name is Linda, and I was getting started with I've actually had a couple of businesses that I've started and worked through for the past couple of years, but my latest venture is a bookkeeping business. So I got in touch with Moises when I saw his ad on Instagram, um, and he basically walked me through the steps to get everything lined up, and he was able to help me get funding.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and then if you don't mind me sharing a little bit about like the situation, right? Because I think it's very relatable to a lot of business owners that were in your same shoes.
Mhm.
Um, so with Linda's situation, guys, so she was, she didn't know that there was lending products on the business, right? So she was leveraging her personal credit, right? And I think that's very similar to a lot of businesses that I talk to, business owners that I talk to. A lot of them leverage their own personal credit. And sometimes when you extend yourself, you can put yourself in a situation where it's going to get hard for you to get funding later, right? So like with Linda's situation, we were able to actually solve that issue by getting a bridge loan, right? It's a consolidation loan, right? To consolidate all the personal. And
Yep.
ultimately, guys, what the strategy is, we got her personal loan to pay off all her credit cards on her personal to bring her score way up and then her utilization way low, right? And then
Yes.
as soon as that happened, we were able to get her, $70,000 card with our first bank. So now
Mhm.
she's able to move all that debt, put it in that regular loan instead of on the credit cards, and now she's got one fixed payment. She also has the option of putting it all on the business at 0% if she wants to, right? So it's all about flexibility and the strategy that we tailored for her specific situation. And I
Mhm.
know a lot of business owners out there are in that same boat where they're like, hey, I didn't even know that you can get business funding. So now it's like we're able to creatively move money around to make everything work. And I just wanted to share that because, I think a lot of business owners they do that same route and there is an option for those people as well. Most people think they're kind of like, SOL, right? But in this situation, we're able to move money around and really get you in the right position. So if you don't mind us, or if you don't mind sharing, Linda, I mean, so now, how do you feel, right? Like, what do you think of the whole process? Like, did you understand the beginning, like kind of what we're doing? Do you have any doubts, like anything that you were like, man, I don't know if it's gonna work for me because of this or anything like that?
I was definitely a little worried at first, because I'd never heard of this method before.
Yeah.
After watching a good bit of your content on Instagram, you explain more in detail of how, starting at a certain credit score or, not knowing what directions you can go when you can't get traditional funding, and having already spent so much on my personal credit cards, I really didn't think there was a way out, but I figured let's give this a shot. Moises definitely he knows what he's talking about. So that's when I got in touch with you. And then when we actually went through the process, you explained it crystal clear. If I had any doubts, I asked you the questions. You were able to explain it perfectly. Definitely to the point where I was like feeling confident that we could keep moving forward as long as I followed the steps. So I
Yeah.
felt really good. Like I feel so much relief now, having been able to um, restructure my funding, like moving all of the stuff off of my personal credit onto my business credit because that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
Businesses when you first start out, a lot of times you don't know that you have business funding available to you, and you think, okay, well, I'm going to start out on my personal, and then I'll just pay it off with whatever income that I make from my business, and then that kind of thing. But it's highly recommended that you don't commingle. But if you don't know any other way, then how are you going to know? But going, uh, working with you through the whole process has definitely taught me a lot of lessons that I can carry forward and help other people with.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up too. And like, this strategy is very peculiar, right? Because did you have to provide any sort of documentation, any type of proof of income, any tax returns, anything like that? Like
None of the
none,
above.
right? Isn't that pretty crazy? You're able to get, I think you got, I think 117,000 in total, right? Like with
Yep.
everything, with the consolidation and this one. So
Yep.
it's pretty crazy, like to be able to get six figures in funding without showing a pay stub, tax returns, or anything, just following the right skills. And I'm glad that, you were a perfect student because you literally, I told you exactly what to do. You did it. You didn't waste time. You did it that same day. And I really appreciate that because I do get some clients that like kick the can down the road and they spend 2 weeks not doing anything and then they turn around, they get mad at me. And I was like, okay, it's not my fault. I can't do that for you. So I really appreciate you actually following through and the inquiry process. You did the inquiry process yourself, right? You mailed off the letters and everything.
Yep,
Yeah, how was
yep.
that? Was that pretty easy? I mean, for the most part?
It was very easy because you supplied actually the steps to do it. You actually, you got lessons in your school course that actually walk through the steps, and you explain when you call into Experian or TransUnion or Equifax. Um, After you've sent in the certified letter with all of the documentation and what inquiries need to be removed, you follow the script, or I followed the script when I talked to them. They said, okay, they'll look into it. They got the certified package, the mail with the proof of my inquiries and stuff like that. And like within a week and a half, they responded with letters, physical letters saying, hey, we've removed these inquiries off your report. I wouldn't have known what direction to go in without your guidance, without that course, without the videos, and without you explaining how to do it exactly. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it was
that
easy,
yeah,
just a
that's
little
awesome.
stressful, like the fact that we were getting it together. But once it was together and sent off, I was good to
Yeah,
go.
it's pretty easy. Yeah, a lot of people don't know too. Like inquiries can really like hold people back, and people try to apply to stuff when they have a bunch of inquiries and obviously they get declined, right? Even if they have a really good score, you can get declined when you have too many inquiries. So that's another thing too that like I need to talk about more in my videos because people try to apply even, oh, I have a great score, but yeah, do you have like 10 inquiries? You can't do that. So yeah, I'm glad that that video helped. That strategy, it's very effective. Typically, in like 5 to 10 days is typically what we see the inquiries come off, and everybody learns that in the once they join, you will get access to the school community and everything as well. So awesome. Anything that you would like to share about your experience? Anything bad that you didn't like? Any feedback that I can get on my end?
Honestly, no, I didn't have any doubts. I didn't have any real, I mean, because I wanted to run a business. I wanted to get the funding for my business, and you helped answer that specific need. I don't feel like I had any doubts, anything that was out of whack, or anything that didn't seem unreasonable, or that did seem unreasonable. So it was streamlined. It was easy. I highly, highly recommend if you're on the fence about finding funding, Moises is your guy. He can actually help you answer the questions that you have. If you have any doubts, he can help you as well. So he can, help you move forward with whatever it is that you're having trouble with. So, I mean, I
Appreciate
can't
that.
recommend you enough.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Linda, for hopping on and taking the time. And then I know we'll see you in the school community and then we'll talk soon.
Be there. Thanks.